Hi everybody, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'd like to announce my retirement from boxing. It's been a blast. I've loved every single minute of it, and I'm going to end with this. Dick Turpin wore a mask.
That I will never retire!
Make sure y'all stay on point with
The Puncher's Point. What is good, y'all? Welcome back to The Puncher's Point. There's been a lot of news announced today, and especially all the time after the Ring Magazine Awards just happened. There have been a lot of rumors that have been speculating. We'll comment on that news once it gets confirmed and it becomes news. But as far as right now, I do want to touch up on the news that I feel has been the biggest coming out of January 13th at 11:30 p.m. Tyson Fury has announced his retirement from boxing. Now, I know what y'all are going to think. How many times is this guy going to retire in his career? Well, I do have a quote from him right here, and he did post it on his Instagram. He said, "I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'd like to announce my retirement from boxing. It's been a blast. I loved every single minute of it, and I'm going to end with this. Dick Turpin wore a mask. God bless everybody. See you on the other side." Now, a lot of people were confused at first about the whole Dick Turpin comment, but a lot of people have been speculating that the whole comment about Dick Turpin wearing a mask symbolizes a robber and that he feels like he was robbed in his second fight against Alexander Usyk, and he feels like he was robbed in the first fight as well. So that's where the whole quote kind of comes in. That's what a lot of people are speculating. I do want to say before I continue that the source for this article is ESPN News Services. Now, ESPN News Services has also put out a timeline of Tyson Fury's past retirements, and I do want to share this a little bit because it is important. So the first retirement comes in November 20th of 2013. This is when his fight fell through with David Hayes, and basically he said there were a lot of female dogs in this business and they will have to mess with somebody else. I'm keeping it PG, because you never know who's watching. But basically, he basically said goodbye boxing because he felt like boxing was screwing him in a way after not getting the fights that he wanted and after, feeling a certain way about the competition back then. So then, next thing you know, he returns against Joey Abel in 2014. Now, the second retirement comes on October 3rd, 2016. This is after he defeated Vladimir Klitschko. He, after withdrawing from the heavyweight title rematch with Klitschko for the second time to address his mental health, he posted on social media that boxing is the saddest thing he's ever took part in, and he is the greatest, and he's also retired. Now, we all know what happened after he made that retirement. He basically ended up going down a big spiral. Now, he ended up returning after basically a lot of people were claiming that the Gypsy King was done, specifically around that time. Deontay Wilder was coming and all that type of stuff. And there was a lot of controversy around Tyson Fury around that time. There was the whole thing about the UK anti-doping case. This was when he was on cocaine and he willingly admitted that. So they tried to get rid of him in that way. And he ended up tweeting that, "You think you will get rid of the Gypsy King that easy? I'm here to stay." So that was the second retirement. The third retirement comes in August 1st of 2017. Fury was still out of the ring after beating Klitschko in 2015. He's spoken numerous comeback attempts in 2017 before posting on social media in the summer. He said, and I quote, "Been very blessed in my life and career, achieved the utmost in boxing. Was an epic journey along the way. Thank you to all the fans that have supported and believed in me along the way. Hopefully you enjoy as much as I did the end." Now, he ended up returning in December that year. The UK Anti-Doping Committee, they confirmed that they have agreed to resolve the issues and the charges that were going on with Tyson Fury around that time. And then in January of 2018, they reinstated Fury's boxing license and returned to the ring in May of 2018, defeating Safari. Retirement number 4. Okay, I know I'm boring you guys. I'm trying to get through it as quick as I possibly can, but just bear with me. He retired April 23rd in 2022. He announced that he was hanging up the gloves after a win over Dillian White and to retain his WBC belt in London Wembley Stadium. He ended up basically reaffirming that he was retiring with the social media post. He said, "And I quote, I finally decided to walk away on my 34th birthday. I say bon voyage." He also relinquished his Ring Magazine title that day. He returned in October basically to fight Derek Chisora, and he ended up winning that fight in December 3rd of 2022. And last but not least, here we are today, January 13th, 2025, he decides that he's going to hang it up. Now, what do all of these retirements have in common? Well, he announces it on social media, and there's always something that's going to bring him back. So, here's the question for this video. Is Tyson Fury actually retired? And I'm going to be honest with you. The answer is no. I'm sorry, but I do believe. Here's the thing, okay? I don't always want to say no. If he truly believes he's retired and he stays out of boxing, credit to him, great career, got nothing to be ashamed of, did all you could do, and he hangs up the gloves. He retires at, I believe, at 38 years old. That's a great time to retire. He gets to spend time with his kids. He gets to keep his health. He's got a beautiful wife at home. All these types of things. So if this is his retirement, then so be it. Great career. However, there is still one fight that needs to be made, and that is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. A lot of people still want to see that fight, and I'm not gonna lie. If that fight presents itself, once he sees the dollar bills, because I'm saying this right now, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury might make more than Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. I mean, that is a huge fight. I didn't say it will, I said it might, okay? Before y'all in the comments stop getting all angry at me. I believe if that fight presents itself, and they both sign that contract, that fight is going to make him a ton of money and he will come out of retirement for that fight. Now, a lot of these, it's the same thing. He announces on social media, says he's retired. He does all the things that make you believe he retires. He gives up the championships, he hangs it up, but then he comes right back. And overall, I feel like with a lot of boxers, it's hard to retire. And I don't think Tyson Fury is retired. I still think that Anthony Joshua fight is enough to pull him back in. Now, obviously, not many people believe it. But overall, I don't believe that he will come out for any other fight. I don't think he's going to fight Usyk a third time. I don't think that interests him. He feels like he won the first two. Again, that's not what I think. That's not what a lot of people think. But if he feels that way, then so be it. He's not going to come back for Daniel Dubois. I mean, I just don't think that fight really intrigues him in a way. The whole thing is, as of right now, Tyson Fury has accomplished everything he needs to accomplish. Okay. The IBF heavyweight championship is not going to be enough to bring him back. Okay. It's just not. So at this point, what are you chasing? A huge payday. And what better way to get a huge payday than against the other British heavyweight champion that your paths have been basically colliding? You guys have basically been moving at the same pace. And what better way to end your career than getting a win in one of the biggest fights in British history? So, to me, I don't think he's fully retired. However, I'm gonna say this right now. I don't think we see Tyson Fury for another year. A lot of these times where he came out of retirement, he fought a few months after. Some of them he waited a year. Some of them was even longer than a year. But I think next time we see Tyson Fury in a ring is going to be at least another year. And who knows what could happen in a year? I mean, here we are. It's January 13, 2025. Who knows what happens in 2026? The landscape of boxing can look so much different. If you go back a year and you were to tell me that Tyson Fury was going to get defeated by a cruiserweight two times in a row, if you were to tell me that in 2025 that Saudi Arabia Riyadh season was going to take over, that we were going to get fights like Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis versus Ryan, I mean, we were going to get fights like Better be Evan Bivol. There's a lot of fights that I would have looked at you and I would have said you're crazy. But in this specific case, in a year, anything can change. Daniel Dubois, he goes in there, maybe he beats Usyk, maybe he becomes undisputed champion. Maybe Dubois goes in there with Joseph Parker and Joseph Parker upsets him and then Joseph Parker becomes undisputed heavyweight champion. Maybe some fresh newcomer comes in, wipes out the whole division, and then next thing you know, we see Tyson Fury in a year come back. Because here's the thing, if he waits a year, the anticipation for Tyson Fury's return is just going to be that much bigger. As of right now, there is no anticipation for Tyson Fury. There's nobody that he could fight right now besides Anthony Joshua where it would basically build a big enough crowd. It would build a big enough hype. There isn't anybody, really. Who's he going to fight? There, besides Anthony Joshua, there's nobody. So, with that being said, Who knows what happens with Anthony Joshua within this next year? Maybe Anthony Joshua, revives his career. Maybe he becomes heavyweight champion again somehow, some way. Maybe he ends up going down a hill like Tyson Fury. We don't know what could happen in 2026. However, what we do know is if Tyson Fury wasn't to put it this way, he fought Francis Ngannou before he fought Alexander Usyk. If Tyson Fury wasn't eager to defend these championships against the best before, he's not going to be eager now. So I do believe that the next time we will see Tyson Fury is a year. And overall, you just can't believe that this is the last time he is going to step into a ring because there's unfinished business and the retirements are all exactly the same. I mean, I'm going to go over it one more time, just in a quicker version. He retires in 2013. His second retirement, 2016. His third retirement, 2017. His fourth retirement, 2022. And his fifth retirement is 2025. I'm sorry, but you can't believe that this guy's retired because it keeps on happening. The same repeated things that he's did in his last retirements that didn't last are happening now. So you can't say that this is where he retires his career. I don't think he even believes it, to be honest with you, because there's just so much unfinished business. And on top of that, there's still that one big money fight with Anthony Joshua on the table. And that is why I don't believe Tyson Fury is retired from the sport of boxing. So now, with that being said, here's my concern, okay? After he defeated Vladimir Klitschko, he admitted that there was nothing else to fight for, and he didn't have any motivation in life. And what happened? He ended up gaining a bunch of weight, a bunch of unhealthy weight. He was around 400 pounds at one point. He had a drug addiction. The guy was contemplating suicide. Here's the thing, y'all know I am not the biggest Tyson Fury fan. I know a lot of y'all think I am, but I'm not. I'm not the biggest Tyson Fury fan by no means. I was a huge Deontay Wilder fan. I am not the biggest Tyson Fury fan. But the last thing I want to see from Tyson Fury is him go down rock bottom again. You have kids, you have a wife, you have a family that you need to support for. You've done all these great things in the sport of boxing. The last thing I want to see from Tyson Fury is him go back to being depressed, him going back to, knock on wood, he doesn't, but going back to having a drug addiction, contemplating suicide. I don't want to see that from Tyson Fury. I want Tyson Fury to stay in shape while he's retired. I want him to enjoy life. I want him to enjoy the life that he has. Because I'm going to be honest with you, the guy's got a beautiful family, I mean, he has a lot of things that a lot of people in this world don't have. And I just don't want to see him go down that dark slope again. I want to see him enjoy life. And if this is the last time we see Tyson Fury, salute. Congratulations on a great career, I mean, you etched your name into the history book as far as boxing, along with heavyweight boxing in itself. I just feel like if this is your last time in the ring, I want him to enjoy life outside of boxing. He's only 38 years old, so I feel like he's got a lot more life to live, and I just don't want to see him go down that same slope again. And that's where I want to basically, if you're going to get anything away from this episode, that's what I want you to take away from it. I hope that he enjoys his life outside of boxing. But as far as him coming back, I think it'll happen. I think the inevitable is going to happen. There's just too much money on that fight with Anthony Joshua. There's too much hype. There's too much history around it for that fight not to happen. So I think that him and Anthony Joshua, I think they will meet in about a year down the line in 2026, and I think we're going to get a great fight from it. Do I think he's going to come back earlier somewhere in this year? No, I don't think so. I think it's going to take a lot for Tyson Fury to come back this year. There might be rumors maybe of him coming back, but I think I think it'll get prolonged like everything does in boxing, and I just don't think that it'll happen. So I think the next time we see Fury is going to be in 2026. I don't think this is his last retirement. I'll say this right now, though. If he goes in there in 2026 and he beats Anthony Joshua, maybe they do a rematch, but at most, if he beats Anthony Joshua on that grand stage, I think that will be his last match. I think that will be officially his last retirement. Retirement number 6 will be his last retirement. Mark my words. But I don't think it's coming anytime soon. So, with that being said, I mean, we basically covered everything there is in this episode, about this topic. Shout out to ESPN News Services for providing us with all of his past retirements, so I didn't miss out any details. And overall, the big question of this episode is this going to be Tyson Fury's official retirement? Y'all answer that in the comments. Maybe y'all believe this will be his last time in a ring. Maybe y'all believe the same thing as me and we'll see him again down the line. Who knows? But overall, make sure y'all comment down below on this video. What do you think? Do you think Tyson Fury is going to come back, or do you think he's officially retired? But before y'all do that, before y'all get done with this video, make sure y'all follow all the social medias. Make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast. Make sure y'all keep that notification button on, and make sure y'all keep on notice that the Puncher's Point, we're going to be keep on making episodes. I know as of right now, it's been a little bit inconsistent. However, we got some great things coming, from interviews all the way to collaborations, all the way to the content that we usually do with predictions, post-fight breakdowns, news updates, all of that. So make sure, if y'all want to stay in touch with boxing, make sure y'all stay on point with the Puncher's Point. What's up, y'all? If y'all love this episode, make sure y'all subscribe. You hit that notifications button, and also take a look at the recent episodes that we made before this. Make sure y'all stay on point with the Puncher's Point.